Maker. Your encouraging verse comes to us from Psalm 18, verse 1 and 2. I will love you, O Lord, my strength. The Lord is my rock and my fortress and my deliverer. My God, my strength in whom I will trust. My shield and the horn of my salvation. My stronghold. Psalms 18,
that can
verse
trigger
1
a
and 2.
cascade of dangerous biochemical processes inside the body. It can cause the adrenal
Psalms
glands to
33,
release the stress
verse 4 and
hormone
5.
cortisol, which then triggers neurotransmitters in the brain. Cortisol can cause the brain to atrophy, especially our memory center called the hippocampus, actually causing memory loss. Cortisol can also activate the part of our body called the sympathetic nervous system. The people with this dangerous malady have higher rates of cancer and higher rates of depression. Left unchecked, it can amplify any emotional pain we might feel in the future, causing a person to be hypersensitive to any imagined criticism. What is this attack on our bodies that can cause so much short-term and long-term damage? It's called unforgiveness. This is the conclusion of research from Pastor Charles Stone in an article in churchleaders.com. Read the Bible and learn about the God who offers you forgiveness so that you can start forgiving others. It's the antidote to the subtle poison of unforgiveness. A message from 89.7 and 91.5 Sound Radio.
Sailed out on the water. All 12 saw Jesus walking on the sea. But I'm the one who called out to the Master, asking for faith to step out and believe. 11 men decided to sit safely in the boat, but where you are is where I want to be. So today, I'm walking on the water, waves of doubt will crash beneath my feet through the storm. My eyes are on Jesus, arm in arm. We'll stand upon the sea. Tomorrow I might fail him again, but today I walk on water with him. My story reads like I'm some kind of hero. That is, if you don't know about my past. I denied 3 times I ever knew him, afraid to claim him every time they asked. But I've stood on the waves with the God of second chances, who's focused on my future, not my past. So today, I'm walking on the water, waves of doubt will crash beneath my feet through the storm. My eyes are on Jesus, arm in arm. We'll stand upon the sea. Tomorrow I might fail him again, but today I'll walk on water with him. Now in the 4th watch of the night, Jesus went to them, walking on the sea. But immediately Jesus spoke to them, saying, "Be of good cheer."
This is WPAE 89.7 FM Centerville, Mississippi, and KPAE 91.5 Irwinville, Louisiana. Today's Southern Gospel and the new Journey Radio Network.
Playing fresh, new Southern Gospel music.
Hi, this is Jonathan Wilburn of Wilburn & Wilburn.
Thank God Almighty, I was raised on bread.
We're the Craft family.
My King is known by love.
Rodney Griffin here with Greater Vision.
I wanted to start with well done.
Serving up the best in today's Southern Gospel music. You're in the MidDay Café with Steve Woodham.
A corner, seems there's no way out. My faith begins to weaken. My Jesus, I need your touch divine. That's when he sends me a miracle. Just in time, miracles still happen. God sends them from above on the wings of heaven's angels. Sit down with his love. By his mercy I'm delivered when he knows I've had enough. 'Cause miracles still happen. God sends them from above. When confusion overwhelms me, I don't know what to do. This hill becomes a mountain I cannot tunnel through. That's when you come to rescue me and bring the light of day. You send me a miracle, make a way when there's no way. Miracles still happen, God sends them from above on the wings of heaven's angels. Sit down with his love, by his mercy I'm delivered when he knows I've had enough. 'Cause miracles still happen, miracles still happen. God sends them from above on the wings of heaven's angels. Sit down with his love, by his mercy I'm delivered when he knows I've had enough. 'Cause miracles still happen, God sends them from above, from above. God sends them from above. Miracles still happen.
Midday Café with the Victory Trio. Miracles still happen at 3 minutes after the hour. A pleasant Thursday afternoon. Welcome to the cafe. Welcoming special guest Carol Barham. And I was told that's how we pronounce her last name. I have been pronouncing it wrong all this time. So, Carol, I do apologize. It's Carol Barham. She's going to be joining us here at 12:30 with a great testimony. Make sure you share with everyone. This is something you want to hear, because she does believe she is living proof that dreams do come true. So we've got Carol joining us at 12:30. Plus, we've got a lot of great Southern gospel music headed your way, as well as weather and traffic. All that and more coming up this hour right here on the Midday Cafe.
Hey, this is singer-songwriter Mark Bishop, and you're listening to Midday Cafe with Steve Woodham.
The battlefield for my Lord. Yes, I'm on the battlefield for my Lord. I promised him that I would serve him till I die. Now I'm on the battlefield for my Lord. I was alone and idle, I was a sinner too. I heard a voice from heaven saying there is work to do. I took my master's hand and I joined that heavenly band, and I'm on the battlefield for my Lord. I'm on the battlefield for my Lord. Yes, I'm on the battlefield for my Lord. I promised him that I would serve him till I die. Now I'm on the battlefield for my Lord. I'm fighting for my Savior. The battle is most won. The trumpet will be sounding the coming of the sun. I'll lay my armor down, take up my robe and crown, then I'll walk the golden streets with my Lord. Yes, I'm on the battlefield for my Lord. Yeah, I'm on the battlefield for my Lord. I promised him that I would serve him till I die. Now I'm on the battlefield for my Lord. Yeah, I'm on the the battlefield for my Lord. Yes, I am. I'm on the battlefield for my Lord. I promised him that I would serve him till I died. Now I'm on the battlefield for my Lord. Yeah, I'm on the battlefield for my Lord. Yeah.
Jesus said in Matthew 6:34, "Therefore do not worry about tomorrow, for tomorrow will worry about itself. Each day has enough trouble of its own." Lock your dial here today to take your worry off tomorrow. You're listening to 89.7 and 91.5 Sound Radio, home of today's Southern Gospel.
Fan favorite.
Louder than what you heard on the news today. It's ringing out above the noise, the chaos and the hate. Oh, it can't be stopped or silenced, even when all hope seems gone. It's the rising anthem of salvation song. It says we're forgiven. It says we're redeemed. It says that our sins are gone forever, all because of Calvary. And it's just getting louder as the saints sing along. It's the joyful, grateful sound of salvation song.
Midday Cafe, the Taylors and Salvation Song at 11 minutes after the hour. Good afternoon. Looks like the showers have moved out of the area for at least now. Then for tonight, cloudy skies will continue with a low of 60. We do have a chance of rain moving back into the area tonight at 70%. Then for our Friday, looks like it's going to be another round of showers and thunderstorms, 90% chance with a high tomorrow of 68. Right now, we currently have 70 degrees. We're going to update you on traffic coming up in just a moment.
Mr. Smith?
Yes, doctor?
The test results show that you have 3 completely blocked arteries.
3? That sounds bad.
Actually, it's amazing you're still alive. We need to perform triple bypass surgery as soon as possible.
Wow, this is serious. When should you operate?
I have a space open tomorrow morning.
Tomorrow? Oh, that's not enough time for me to get in shape.
Get in shape, Mr. Smith?
Yeah, I don't want to have an operation without being in good health. I need to quit smoking.
I don't think you have the time.
And drinking. I need to stop drinking.
Mr. Smith, you need major surgery.
Yeah, I know, but I want to be in good health first. And a haircut. I need to get a haircut.
Why would anyone wait until they were in good health before they had life-saving surgery? Many people have this same attitude about going to God. They feel they need to clean up their life first. The problem is, we all have a life-threatening disease called sin, and the only cure is Jesus. Are you trying to be good when you need to turn to Jesus?
Another message from Lifeline Productions, the comic strip of radio at lifelinepro.com.
A neighbor went outside to collect the morning paper. Her husband, not knowing she was outside, shut the garage door and took off her work. She had no way of getting back in. She was locked out. Many of us know that feeling all too well. Maybe you've been locked out much of your life, excluded, abandoned, unheard, unnoticed. You've been hurting, but no one seems to respond. Jesus stands at the door, waiting to welcome you into a personal relationship with Him. To learn how, call 888-NEED-HIM.
I-10 going westbound over the Mississippi River Bridge has been a little bit of a problem throughout the morning, but it looks like we've got everything cleared up. Traffic is flowing along quite nicely, so I-10 westbound is opened. The left lane was blocked, so they do have all that taken care of, and traffic is flowing once again. Everything is looking good. No accidents, no delays. Anything that is going to be a distraction or a deterrent to get you where you need to go, everything looks good right now. Everything is nice and clear. Make sure you're keeping it safe. Continue to practice your vehicular social distancing, and everything should be okay. Don't forget, coming up at the bottom of the hour, special guest Carol Barham. She is going to be in here and talking about dreams really do come true. She is an artist, singer, songwriter, and we're going to discuss what is going on in Carol's life, as well as some things that she had to deal with as she was growing up. This is going to be a powerful, powerful time. So just make sure that you are here. Make sure you share this feed. Make sure that you are locked in to the station that gives you the absolute best in today's Southern gospel music.
Ordering up great Southern gospel music. You're in the Midday Cafe with Steve Woodham.
Living in the middle of a heavenly love. Living in the middle of love. Sitting at the table of the Father. I'm living in the middle of love. I'm living in the middle of love. Nothing I've done, nothing I've won, nothing I ever could have paid for. Only by grace, only through faith. It's only by the hand of the Lord. Living in the middle of a heavenly love. Living in the middle of love. Sitting at the table of the Father. I'm living in the middle of love. I'm living in the middle of love. Every day I'm gonna pray, thank my God for the blessings. Living this life, living in right. Living as a child of the King. Living in the middle of a heavenly love. Living in the middle of love. Sitting at the table of the Father. I'm living in the middle of love. I'm living in the middle of love. Living in the middle of a heaven. in the middle of love.
Sound Radio's verse of the day is brought to you by Truck Stuff USA and Outdoor Power Equipment. They are your authorized Cub Cadet and truck accessories dealer, located at 14330 Plank Road in Baker, Louisiana. From light bars, bed liners, WeatherTech mats, and much more, check out Truck Stuff USA and Outdoor Power Equipment. Give them a call, 225-774-9797. Truck Stuff USA and Outdoor Power Equipment, located in Baker. Your encouraging verse comes to us from Psalm 18, verse 1 and 2. I will love you, O Lord, my strength. The Lord is my rock and my fortress and my deliverer. My God, my strength, in whom I will trust. My shield and the horn of my salvation. My stronghold.
The duty of the church is to comfort the disturbed and disturb the comfortable. Michael Ramsey, 89.7 and 91.5 Sound Radio, home of today's Southern Gospel.
Fan favorite.
I've heard it said tomorrow has enough cares of its own. It's hard not to worry about the things you can't control. But oh, let it go. Go ahead and wrap your arms around today. These are the moments you just can't waste. Sit back, relax, and just enjoy. You don't miss what's happening there in front of you. Truth is, there's a good chance you're looking away too hard. Find the happiness right where you are. So go ahead and squeeze every ounce out of every single day. Don't leave a word out of what you mean to say. Oh yeah, take a breath, breathe deep, and take it all in. 'Cause you never know when it'll come around again. So sit back, relax, and just enjoy. You don't miss what's happening there in front of you. Truth is, there's a good chance you're looking away too hard. Find the happiness right where you Don't miss the little things. They can be the biggest blessings. Sit back, relax, and just enjoy. You don't miss what's happening right there in front of you. Truth is, there's a good chance you're looking away too hard. Yes, you're looking way too hard. Find the happiness right where you are. Find the happiness right where you
Midday Cafe, Cami Schrocken right where you are at 21 minutes after the hour. Don't forget, coming up in just a few moments, special guest Carol Barham as we discuss all about what is going on in her life and also look at why she says dreams really do come true. Join us. She's going to be coming up in about 5 minutes right here on your station for a better mix of today's Southern Gospel.
Sound Radio.
I listen to it because it's family and you don't have to worry about what's coming on. It's all going to be good, and I like that.
Why more people are listening longer this spring.
Well, it lifts my spirits up, gets me into worshiping God.
This is 89.7 and 91.5 Sound Radio, home of today's Southern Gospel.
love comes shining through like a beacon in the night, letting me know everything's gonna be alright. I feel the weight of the world come crashing in on me. I need to feel your love, Lord, shining in on me. Let your love shine through me like a beacon in the night, letting others know my wrongs have been made right. And you don't have to be perfect for His love to shine through you. By His grace and mercy, we can all make it through. Let your love come shining through like a beacon in the night, letting me know everything's gonna be alright. I feel the weight of the world come crashing in on me. I need to feel your love, Lord, shining in on me. Feel the weight of the world come crashing in on me. I need to feel your love, Lord, shining in on me. Your love, Lord, shining in on me. It's a day full of mercy, a day filled with grace, a day filled with joy and peace to help us run this race. No matter what comes our way, we know you are near. In you alone we put our trust, there's nothing to fear. This is the day the Lord has made, I will rejoice in Him. Tell others of the price He paid, the love He has for them. Reach out to one another, lend a helping hand to our brothers and sisters all across the land. It's a day full of mercy, a day filled with grace, a day filled with joy and peace to help us run this race. No matter what comes our way, we know you are near. In you alone we put our trust, there's nothing to fear. There's coming a day, the dead in Christ shall rise. In the twinkling of an eye, we'll meet Him in the skies, to forever be with our Lord throughout all eternity, in a place called heaven, prepared for you and me. It's a day full of mercy, a day filled with grace, a day filled with joy and peace to help us run this race. No matter what comes our way, we know you are near. In you alone we put our trust, there's nothing to fear. In you alone we put our trust, there's nothing to fear. Okay.
And here we are. It is 28 minutes after the hour. So glad to have everybody along here. I do have a very, very special guest that is on the phone. And Carol, let me say I owe you an apology right out of the gate.
Well, okay.
So I have been.
I don't know.
Well, I have been saying Carol Barham for the longest, just because the last letters of my last name are H-A-M, and we say Woodham instead of Woodham. And I was informed that you pronounce your last name Barham.
Yes, and that's okay because that's the way it started out was Barham. And when the boys, my husband and his brothers went into the service. In the service, they'd said Barham. They wouldn't say Barham. They said Barham. And when it come back out, it was just like they, couldn't get used to somebody saying Barham. And so when I met him, I was saying Barham. And even after, I'm going to say probably a few years after we were married, I would not say Barham. I said, it's Barham. Y'all stop. And so, anyway, of course, one day I finally gave in. I did. And I said, okay, it's Barham. I like Barham. And so I guess it sounded a little bit more sophisticated. And so, but anyway, I'm proud to be a Barham. And
okay.
love my husband and his family. They're the greatest. Oh, my goodness. His mom was just wonderful mother-in-law. So I'm blessed. I'm so blessed.
Yeah. Well, I know there's not a lot of people that can say that about their mother-in-laws. Now, I was one of those fortunate ones where my mother-in-law was just a jewel after it took about 30 years of us getting used to each other. But, during the first 30 years, it was kind of an interesting dynamic that we had.
Yeah.
Only because she said that she would rather had adopted me rather than, me marrying her daughter. And I'm going, yeah, but you wouldn't have had any grandkids. And if you did, there's something really wrong, incestuous about this. So, my mother-in-law and I just kept going back and forth over that. So, I get it. So, for those of you that don't have a good mother-in-law, get in their good graces. I'm telling you, my mother-in-law was a prayer warrior. So
that's exactly right.
Yeah.
That's exactly right. So I'm good, Barham. So we're good.
So we'll just call for the sake of expediency. We'll just call you Carol for right now.
Okay, that'll be fine. That'll be fine. I did get a message from somebody. Would you please tell Steve how to pronounce your last name?
No.
I said, oh my goodness. Okay, and I appreciate this guy. he's top notch too.
Yeah, so, I've actually had a couple of people this morning. One of which was one of your relatives. That I was talking to this morning, Bobby Richardson.
Oh my goodness, Bobby.
Yeah, so Bobby was calling, and he and I were talking about a couple of other things because he is praying, hoping, and believing he's going to get internet tomorrow so he can get back on the air. And he goes, just so you know, my wife is a Barham, and it is Barham, and I'm going, okay, got it. So
got it. Okay.
Yeah, so he drilled that one in there to me. So, anyways, wanted to make sure I get it right. So I have been looking, and you have an incredible background, but you are telling everyone that dreams do come true. Now, for those of you that are joining us here online, Carol is a recording artist. She is a charting artist. She is a singer. She is a songwriter. She has an incredible testimony. And here's the thing, Carol, we've got a short period of time, but I know your testimony is just powerful to where, I need to probably bring you back so we can get a little bit more in depth. So we're going to just kind of scan the surface because, actually what we're going to do is, since I am at the controls, which is a really cool thing, we're going to go where the Lord leads us, but your background and doing some research and what you went through growing up, you're Billy Graham, Oral Roberts, God, your mother, your father. Where do you want to begin? Because I think that, I really believe that there are some people out there that are locked into a situation of bondage because of their past.
Yes, many are. Yes. So, okay, you want me to start?
Yes, ma'am. I was going to say, you just, wherever the Lord leads you, you just jump in with both feet, and then we will just, we'll go from there.
Well, I was born and raised in Tuscaloosa, Alabama, and so that's where I remember a lot, like my early childhood, and so a lot of stuff was going on, and honestly, even at 8, 9, 10 years old, I didn't really realize all the impact of what was going on, but because my mother was so strong and kept things from us, but of course, I could see. But I didn't know what extension everything really was at that time. But I grew up in an alcoholic home, and there was a lot of chaos. As I got older, then I could hear and see a lot more of what was going on and realize things. But we all of a sudden, just one day, my mom says, "Okay, get in the car. We're just gonna go on a trip." And so I always just basically did what she wanted me to, except I did not want to go to school. I had a hard time going to school. I didn't want to be around anybody else. I just wanted to stay in my safe world.
Right.
Oh boy. Whew. And so anyway, it took a lot of my mother. They whipped you back then. I mean, you got to go to school, okay? And if you don't go to school, I'm gonna whip you again.
Yeah.
And but that just didn't register with me, and so I still had a hard time up until I got in third grade. And so I think there was a lot of fear, in me, and being around other people and the kids and all that kind of stuff. So that was really hard. But I began to press on through. I made friends, and before I knew it, I had quite a bit of few friends, good friends, and then that was a lot easier on me. And I loved going to school after that. So went on up to elementary and all that stuff. Then on the trip, we went and stayed with some friends around the beach area, and they had invited my mom to come. And so we went, and I know that we were there about 2 weeks. And before I knew it, was getting in the car again.
Yeah.
But we never went back to my home. And so I was just thinking, to myself, where are we going? Where are we going? So Mother never told me. She just said, get in the car. And so there have been many times after we went to the next destination. They found us. My dad found us somehow. But they seem to always find you. And we went into another state, but we thought we was just hid out, and but we weren't. And he found us, and I had two older brothers. They could take care of themselves. And so Mother was just taking care of us girls.
Yeah.
And so there I remember a lot of, they're always going to do better. They always made promises. Ooh, I'm just going by my spirit now.
Yeah.
They always made promises, and my mother would, okay, she's forgiving, and she was hoping for the best. And so there we were again, and was okay for a little while, and then it all started again. Okay, get in the car. We left there, and we went to another town, still in the same state, but we went to another town. And the house she found wasn't that good, but it was what she could find right then. And my mama was a hard worker. And so she would get up every morning around 4, and put the coffee on. And she always fixed us breakfast before she left. And what we lived on basically was what she made at the plant that she worked at.
Right.
The bills, everything, because my dad was just so addicted to alcohol, and listened to the song, and that song did so well for me. And there's stations that still play that, God Old Roberts and Billy Graham, and it made such an impact. And not producer, but another guy. Anyway, he he connected with both of those families to let them know, that I had recorded this song and was naming their families, because we didn't know how that they would take that.
Right.
And but they were overwhelmingly loving the song and gave us clear way to record and put it out there. They were thrilled that they had a part in my mama, and helping her and giving her strength with the programs that came on. So, but at this place is where I don't know really how we got this TV, because my mama didn't make that whole lot of money not working at the plant. But anyway, somehow we did. I don't know if someone gave it to us or what. But Mama would say, okay, at the plant, y'all people would say, Roberts, I'm sorry.
Right.
Roberts, was coming on with his big crusade. And we didn't grow up in that type of services and stuff, but my mama loved it. And so she would always watch it, and I did too. So that put seed in me, though, that I loved that too.
Yeah.
And the laying hands of people and them getting healed. And then, of course, always Billy Graham too with his crusades. And it was just phenomenal, really, how God brought that up in me and gave me that song and gave me what, words to write. I couldn't have written that song for nothing in this world on my own.
Yeah.
It was just God. And so there, things just escalated. They just begin to escalate again. They find you, like I said.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know how, but they do. And so everything, okay, things will go pretty good, for a little while, but it never ever was over. And we lived there for several years, but my mother went, I can't tell you how hard that was, and me seeing what I did. I just hate it when I hear, children being abused or children being around things in life that they're so scared and they feel so violated, and they just feel all kinds of things, and it does give them problem.
Yeah.
God really healed me, but from there then, it was just I just knew the look on my mother's face, and when it really escalated, she just gave me this look that I knew, and she would point her finger, and that meant get out the back door. It's a little hard.
Sounds like an interesting childhood as you were growing up, because I noticed in an article here you said that inside the four walls of the house there was a lot of pain and abuse for your mom.
Jesus, yes.
And
I'm thinking that I am so healed and so over. I apologize. It's still, I guess, after all these years, it's still just real. It's still real.
Yeah.
And so, but I guess that shows that passion. But anyway, that meant get out the back door and go around the house, open the back door of the car, and get in. I'm so sorry.
That's no worries. So let me ask you this: did you? Because if we dwell on this for a while, we both may start crying. So it's one of these things. It sounds to me like every time you left, your father would find you. Was there ever a time when you and your father or your mother did y'all ever really reconcile, or did your father just continue throughout his life fighting with alcoholism and all of those things?
Yes. They never reconciled. Well, my mother, she came to a place. I want to finish that other. I want to get in the car, and I had to sit to the back of the driver's seat. Get as far close to that as I could, and then before too long, then she would come out, and we would leave, and we we would go somewhere, the drive-in theater. We would just go and stay as long as we could. There was a time or two that she did get us, another, just some little place to stay, something. But I'm just telling you, my mother was so strong, and I see in her, in that turnaround in that song, I look back and I know now, when I was writing that song, what strength she did have. So anyway, from there, we left. We just left. Nobody knew. I didn't even know. I didn't know where we were going again. And we went to another home in another town, not far from there, but still it was just another town and way back. And then from there, another home, and from there, another one. But, it was like we was always on the run. And but then one day he saw that she meant business that time, and he went to his mother's, and that she lived in another town, good ways away.
Right.
And then he just drank himself to, I'm just gonna say, to death, really. And I didn't really realize until just a few years ago how young he really was. And but we all, I loved my dad because he, was my dad, but I didn't have the respect. And so it's taken me a long time. But I really forgave him, and my mother forgave him because she knew, that she couldn't just hold on to a lot of that, but it took God.
Yeah.
It really took God. So, and then, it was me and my mom. And so we, got another house. And by this time, I'm in high school, and I'm meeting my future husband.
Oh, wow. So you met your future husband in high school?
Well, he was out of school. I was still in high school, yes.
Uh-huh.
And so he had joined up with the Army National Guard. And so it went from there. And but he would come on certain days to the high school to pick me up. He was so cute. He was just adorable. And he would usually come in his little army suit, his army outfit. So the girls would, my friends and all, the girls, they would just all go crazy. And he had these long eyelashes. Oh, my goodness. And, they would just woo over him. Oh,
oh my goodness.
Oh, yeah. Oh, we could lay a pistol up on those eyelashes. And I was going, I know. They were adorable. They were so cute. And I had a lot of good friends. So God just began to bless us and prosper us. Each house, I know this sounds like, wow, but each house that we went to was better.
Yeah.
And better. And better. And I was like, wow, Mom, you go, Mom. And, I wasn't ashamed of where I lived then. And I wasn't ashamed that, it was just my mom.
Yeah.
I didn't have a dad. And so until years later, oh, what a romantic, this is another story about how my mom met my dad. I call him my dad because I was still young.
Right.
And so he changed her world.
That's good. That's good.
Okay, let's see where we want to go. I'm so sorry.
So that's okay. That's okay. So let's go back just a little bit. So you had early influences, obviously Oral Roberts, Billy Graham, and the Tent Crusades. You had influences in your music even way back then, but you were also influenced by some country and western singers, if I remember correctly.
That is true.
So yeah. Take all of these together. Are they what influence you when you are writing music? Is that where you get your influence from? And how does that play in what you write and what you sing?
Okay, so I had two brothers that had guitars. They both could play. And in my story, I tell about them. And boy, how they played guitar whatever club, whatever place, that they could get in. And they sang and they played country music. My mom was a fan of country music. My mom, she loved, like, Tammy Wynette,
Right.
Loretta Lynn, just so many of the older, country music. I mean, like real country music.
Johnny Cashes, the George Jones, the Dolly Partons,
Yes. And so that, I'm sure, had an influence on me. And the songwriting, after I met my husband, then they went to a church where they believed in the freedom of worship and praise and just really giving God praise and everything, and that had an influence on me. I always loved going to church when I could, or if there was one close by. My story goes really deep, really, because I had two other sisters that really came with us on part of this journey, and we would walk up down the road just singing, and we was just like, anybody, y'all just move over. I mean, we had such harmony.
Yeah.
And but my brothers, they kept playing and singing, but I lost one of my brothers at a young age, and so that left one brother left, and but he continued to play, and every time we would get around each other, he had to play. He'd bring that guitar, and we play and sing. So yes, I think all that that music there really influenced me, and had a lot in my songwriting. I didn't know. All I knew is these songs would start coming into me,
right,
and I would start writing. And my husband and I pastor, okay, so that was my future husband, and I had no idea, that God was going to call him into the ministry and pastoring, and wow. But I want to say I've got two wonderful children that know God and live for the Lord, a son and a daughter, Douglas and Michelle, and they've given us grandkids, and what a special joy. Joy.
Yeah.
And I have loved every moment of them. Yes. Yeah. So, okay, now where do we go?
Let's see here. You're talking about pastoring. Where do you and your husband pastor at?
In Vernon, Alabama, Fountain of Life Church here, and we've been here for, I won't say many years, and God has just really blessed us. We've had a lot of souls saved, but we've had several ministers to be called under our ministry, and they are out everywhere. They're just and so but the Lord began to really move in my heart, and when he gave me these songs, we had a group to visit our church that he and I were attending, the Caledonia Assembly of God, and they heard me sing, and then they wanted me in their group. And so he also came along with me, and so we sang with that group for like 2 years, and we went a lot of different places. And then later we just, focused it on pastoring, and took this church that was fixing to be sold to a funeral home.
Oh my goodness!
The next day, yeah. And,
so y'all gave that church a resurrection?
We did.
There you go.
We did. So yes. Wow. Well, we need an hour. We need an hour.
Yeah, we need probably longer than an hour. So I know, because there's a lot of things that you and I would like to discuss, and we just, for the sake of time, we just don't have it today. So you and I are going to have to get back together when I can carve out a little bit longer time. But I do want to ask you this: during COVID and everything that's been going on, how often are you able to get out and minister? I know with you and your husband pastoring a church, I'm sure. Do you get a chance to get out very much and go and minister and go and sing?
Not as much. I did a big event up around Fort Payne during that COVID epidemic. It was going on, but somehow that door opened, and they welcomed us in up there, and it was great. We had a great time, and I praise God for that. Not as much, as traveling as it is just, getting to go to some of the events that I've got to attend. But I released a new song during that time, and it was a day. And unbeknown to us, my producer, Dennis McKay, just really felt strong about it. And I said, well, okay, let's go with it. And we did. And then all the news about the COVID, came out.
Right.
And that song was on the radio, and it made it hit the top 20 just right out of the box. And also it was chosen in the top 20 of the DJs just right out.
Right.
And and I was just looking. I got a new my new magazine in, and I'm telling you, so that was over a year ago. And in Cross Country magazine, my song is let's see, it says number 5 on Cross Country USA Hot 100. So
congratulations!
Thank you. I'm looking at that, and then another one. I think here, it went up, and then it went down. Christian Voice. It went up, and then it went down, and now I noticed today it has gone back up several points, and so I think it's in the it's still in the top 20. I'm thinking I'll have to get that magazine back out. I just got it today, but I'm like, wow. And so 5 different charts. Just last month it was on 5 different charts.
Yeah.
And so I'm and SGN Scoops, of course.
Yeah.
So Vonda Armstrong, my producer. Hey, y'all media, Vonda, if you're listening, I love you. and yes, and so we've been working with Vonda for a few years now, and I'm still with her. And I did, and I feel like I'm a hard worker, and I do as much as I can. The girls, and I appreciate the girls, Alicia, Paula, my great friends. And I honestly, my DJs, I love them. All you DJs, I love you. I'm so honored and so grateful that you are playing my music, because I've only been in this since like 14. And that's when I went on my first cruise ever. I was asked to come and sing on this cruise, and I hadn't even had my first CD. I just got my first CD.
Wow.
And I know. And my first song that my producer sent out came out, You're My Mama, which was about my mom. And if you've ever listened to that, you'll understand a lot of my story also. Yeah. And but it came out on the charts on Cash Pot's Country, which, that's the one Loretta Lynn came out on. And I'm going, okay, I didn't connect all the dots going on right then, but I have since then. And I'm thinking, okay, Mama. Yeah, because my mama passed away several years ago. And but I mean, she's still alive.
Yeah, yeah.
She's still alive.
Still has a lot of influence, it sounds like.
She does, believe me. I mean, she does. And she always told me, you set your mind at now. And she was my biggest cheerleader, my encourager. And she told me, now, whatever you set your mind to, you can do. And you can do this. And I said, okay, Mama. So. Yeah. Well, and I believed her.
Well, I tell you what I need to do. I need to go ahead because I've got to wrap this up. But before I do, I'm going to play God, Oral Roberts, and Billy Graham.
Oh, wow.
Just because I like the song. So anyway, Carol, I want to invite you back. Don't hang up just yet, because I want to chat with you. So for those of you that are tuning in, we have been talking with Carol Barham, and we're going to have her back just because there's a lot to her story, and I didn't realize how deep it went. So we're going to have her back. But I want you to hear this song as we go to the top of the hour. It is by Carol. It's called God, Oral Roberts, and Billy Graham.
God, Oral Roberts, and Billy Graham to help my mama through. Even though she with a paycheck in his hand. White lightning and the honky-tonks were his favorite fad. The bills were due, I needed shoes, Mama needed help. But that didn't seem to matter, he was wrapped up in himself. It was God or Roberts and Billy Graham that helped my mama through. Even though she was 5'4" and Dad was 6'2", with her hand on her hip and that look in her eye, she said, "I'm not afraid of you." It was God or Roberts and Billy Graham that helped my mama through. Come on with his huge tent crusades, laying hands on the sick. God moved in marvelous ways. Billy Graham would preach Jesus and the cross, thousands would get saved, while Johnny Cash and June Carter sang Amazing Grace. It was God or Robert, Billy Graham that helped my mama through. Even though she was 5'4", Dad was 6'2", with her hand on her hip and that look in her eye, she said, "I'm not afraid of you." It was God or Roberts and Billy Graham that helped my mama through. Though times were hard when I was growing up, I saw strength in my mama that came from above. It was God or Robert and Billy Graham that helped my mama through. Even though she was 5'4", Dad was 6'2", with her hand on her hip and that look in her eye, she said, "I'm not afraid of you." It was God or Robert and Billy Graham that helped my mama through. It was God or Robert and Billy Graham that helped my mama through. Wow.
This is Sound Radio, WPAE 89.7 FM, Centerville, Mississippi, and KPAE 91.5, Irwinville, Louisiana. Today's Southern Gospel.
One of these days I'm gonna rise through the clouds up to the skies, to a place where no one dies. I'm gonna rise, where my Jesus I will see. From my fears I will be free, loved and joyful I will be. I'm gonna rise. Hallelujah, by and by I'm gonna rise. Hallelujah, by and by up to the skies. No more tears and no more lies, seeking Jesus with my eyes. Cut off all my earthly ties, I'm gonna rise. Up where heaven is my home, on this earth no longer roam, to a land with no goodbyes, I'm gonna rise. For the truth has set me free, and His glory we will see. Forever peaceful we will be, I'm gonna rise. Hallelujah, by and by I'm gonna rise. Hallelujah, by and by up to the skies. No more tears and no more lies, seeking Jesus with my eyes. Cut off all my earthly ties, I'm gonna rise. Oh, I'll fly away, oh glory, I'll fly away. When I die, hallelujah, by and by, I'll fly away. Hallelujah, by and by, I'm gonna rise. Hallelujah, by and by, up to the skies. No more tears and no more lies, seeking
with my eyes. Cut off all my earthly ties, I'm gonna rise. Cut off all my earthly ties, I'm gonna rise. Cut off all my earthly ties, I'm gonna rise. Gonna rise. Hallelujah, by and by I'm gonna rise. Hallelujah, by and by up to the skies. No more tears and no more lies, seeking Jesus with my eyes. Cut off all my earthly ties, I'm gonna rise. Cut off all my earthly ties, I'm gonna rise. Cut off all my earthly ties, I'm gonna rise. Gonna rise.
Fan favorite.
Preacher, choir, streaming out the back door, new believers right behind. Happy faces, 'cause they met the good Lord, and the preacher says it's time.
Testifying from the ground.
Sunday sunshine gives a hallelujah, 'cause the lost have now been found. Oh yeah, brother, sister, everybody come gather at the river, where sinners plunge beneath the stream. Sister, brother, wait on out into the water. Shout glory when you come up clean. Come on down to the river. Come on down to the river. Come on down to the river. Come on down. Come on down to the river.
Bury your sins in the cleansing tide.
Come on down to the river.
Raise to walk in a brand new life.
Come on down to the river.
Bury your sins in the cleansing tide.
Come on down to the river. Raise to live in a brand new life. Sister, everybody come gather at the river.
Sinners plunge beneath the stream. Oh yeah.
Sister, brother, wade on out into the water. Shout glory when you come up clean. Shout glory when you come up clean. Shout glory when you come up clean. Brother, sister, everybody come out to the river. Sinners plunge beneath the stream. Sister, brother, wade out into the water. Shout glory when you come up clean. Shout glory when you come up clean.
Oh yeah.
Your body needs good nutrition to grow and stay healthy. But when you listen here, we'll help you nourish your spirit for solid, pure spiritual growth. You're listening to Today's Southern Gospel, 89.7 and 91.5 FM.
I found myself at a crossroads. I knew the time was right. For God's Holy Spirit spoke to my heart that night. He showed me my lost condition. I bowed in full contrition. Now I'm in a new position. Since I made up my mind, I've made up my mind. No matter what others say, I will follow Christ and walk in His way. Though the battle gets hard and the road gets steep, that's okay. I've set my heart on becoming like Christ, dying with Him and raised to new life. All the things of this world I'm leaving behind, since I made up my mind. Trouble came running to me and I had to make a choice. Would I run or take a stand against this evil ploy? But after all God did for me and Jesus' blood has set me free, I choose to walk in liberty, for I've made up my mind. I've made up my mind. No matter what others say, I will follow Christ and walk in His way. Though the battle gets hard and the road gets steep, that's okay. I've set my heart on becoming like Christ, dying with Him and raised to new life. All the things of this world I'm leaving behind, since I made up my mind. All the things of this world I'm leaving behind, since I made up my mind.
We all have felt the hurt and pain of a loved one passing on, when they leave this world behind them and finally make it home. And oh, how we'll miss them. We'll see their face no more, but heaven's so much sweeter than before, and home is sounding sweeter with every passing year. The changes in this old world tell us the end is near. Our loved ones on the other side outnumber those down here. That's why home is sounding sweeter every year. Bitter tears we'll shed no more. No sad goodbyes, no parting hands, once we've reached that shore. And this whole world that's grown so wicked now will all be left behind. I'm longing for that day to come when heaven shall be mine, and home is sounding sweeter sounding sweeter. That's why home is so much sweeter. That's why home is sounding sweeter this year.
I'm gonna cross to the other side of Jordan, gonna rest in the by and by. I can't wait to see my Jesus. I'm going over where the soul never dies.
We're the station you turn to for encouraging Southern gospel with songs about this life and the one to come.
Serving up the best in today's Southern gospel music. You're in the Midday Cafe with Steve Woodham.
I've gotta sing of what God's done for me. I've gotta sing of how He set me free. There's not a day that I won't give Him praise, 'cause He's my King, He's my everything. I've gotta sing. Since the day I got saved, my life has been changed. I'm no longer bound. What a difference He made. I've got new direction and I've made up my mind. I'm not gonna stop. I'm gonna testify. I've gotta sing of what God's done for me. I've gotta sing of how He set me free. There's not a day that I won't give Him praise, 'cause He's my King, He's my everything. I've gotta sing. When the journey gets rough with doubt and defeat, I shout that's enough and I claim victory. When Satan comes prowling just to silence my voice, he won't get me down. I'm gonna make some noise. I've gotta sing of what God's done for me. I've gotta sing of how He set me free. There's not a day that I won't give Him praise, 'cause He's my King, He's my everything. I've gotta sing. He put a song in my heart, put a dance in my feet. He gave me joy overflowing and everlasting peace. He put a song in my heart, put a dance in my feet. He gave me joy overflowing and everlasting peace. I gotta sing of what God's done for me. I've gotta sing of how He set me free. There's not a day that I won't give Him praise, 'cause He's my King, He's my everything. I've gotta sing of what God's done for me. I've gotta sing of how He set me free. There's not a day that I won't give Him praise, 'cause He's my King, He's my everything. I've gotta sing. I've gotta sing. I've gotta sing.
Midday Cafe, Benita Eileen, and I've got to sing at 19 minutes after the hour. Good afternoon, this is Steve. I want to thank my special guest, Carol Barham, and her joining us. We are going to have her back because there is a lot to her testimony, and we're going to invite her back at a time where we've got just more time to just dive really into her past and what she's learned and what all she has gone through. So we're going to have her back, but I want to thank her for joining us for just a moment as she was our special guest. Coming up, more great music right after this.
You're listening to Midday Cafe with Steve Woodham on today's Southern Gospel.
When it seems
You are so burdened and you don't know just what to do. And your life, it's gone to pieces. He'll mend them up, he'll make you new. Well, he will stand by you through thick and thin. He'll be your guide, he'll be your friend, and he'll go with you through that dark valley. And I know he'll set you free. Lean on the rock, lean on the rock, the rock of ages. Hold fast to the rock. When the storm rages, when there's no other that you can lean on the rock, lean on the rock, for it is solid and will not fail you. He'll part those waters and lead you safely through. This rock is Jesus, a true foundation. Lean on the rock, lean on the rock. Now Jesus tall upon a mountain, you can be like a foolish or wise man. There's two foundations to build your house on, one on the rock, one on the sand. Then when the floods they come, will you begin to fall? Or if the winds they blow, will you stand oh so tall? There's consolation if you only trust him. Upon his word you can depend. Lean on the rock, the rock of ages. Hold fast to the rock when the storm rages, when there's no other that you can lean on the rock, lean on the rock, for it is solid and will not fail you. He'll part those waters and lead you safely through. This rock is Jesus, a true foundation. Lean on the rock, lean on the rock. I'm standing on the rock of ages, safe from every storm that rages, but not from Satan's wages. Lean on the rock, lean on the rock.
Sound Radio.
Inspires me, keeps me thinking in the right direction.
Fan favorite.
I don't know your journey that's brought you to this place where you feel like it's all over and you can't face another day. I don't pretend to know your struggles or the pain you're going through, but I know what grace can do. It brings hope to the hopeless when it seems none can be found. It gives rest for the weary in a world turned upside down. And even in the valley so dark and so cold, it gives comfort in knowing you'll never walk alone. So hold on to the promise, you're gonna make it through, for I know what grace can do. You're walking through a valley I may never have to face. You're trying to climb that mountain and it seems there's just no way. Just remember God is faithful and he has his eyes on you, for he knows what grace can do. It brings hope
MidDay Café, the Phillips family, and what grace can do. It is 27 minutes after the hour. Sorry, folks, I need to make this an abbreviated program. At 1:30, we're going to be cutting away our Sound Radio family, 89.7 and 91.5, right here in Baton Rouge, South Mississippi. I have a family situation I need to go take care of, and just ask that you keep my wife in your prayers as we have some things going on there that I need to try and get her back home, broken down on the side of the road between here and Gina. So anyway, it's going to be an abbreviated program, but we will be back here in the morning at 6 a.m. for Southern Gospel Sunrise. In the meantime, go out, make it a great, great afternoon. I'm going to go and take care of my wife, get her home safe and sound. Please keep her in your prayers, but keep it right here, your station for the very best in today's Southern Gospel music.
Few words offer more peace and comfort than this one. Secure. But security may be something you've never had much of in your life. You may have experienced conditional love and performance-based love, but not much love that's there when you're unlovable. Maybe there have been people, positions, or things that were your security blanket, but when they're gone, and with them, that sense of being safe. If you've been disappointed in relationships, hurt a lot, or if you're tired of losing what you were hanging on to, then you're ready to experience God's love. God's love is complete and secure for those that come to Him through His Son, Jesus Christ. If you want to learn how to have a relationship with Jesus and be eternally secure in God's love, then call 888-NEED-HIM. That's 888-NEED-HIM. Or chat with us at chataboutjesus.com.
Serving up the best in today's Southern Gospel music. You're in the MidDay Café with Steve Woodham.
It's not by might, not by power, but by my Spirit, saith the Lord. It's not by might, not by power, but by my Spirit, saith the Lord. You may pressure men and sway them to your view. Your words may make them do just what you want them to.